Okay, well, President-elect Obama has made a point to say that that his stance, particularly regarding Afghanistan and Pakistan, will be one of diplomacy and an increased sort of effort of diplomatic intervention in those nations. And regarding Iraq, this is exactly what he's been promising. We specifically asked that he withdraw troops, I believe at the rate of 6,000 per month, as a steady and aggressive withdrawal of the combat operations in Iraq.
And and I was going to say, I will say on the Afghanistan and Pakistan front, this is probably one of the main issues where we're kind of pushing a bit of what he said, but trying to emphasize his other speeches where he's talked about the primacy of diplomacy, and that he would move in that direction in those two countries, because he has also talked about increasing the troops in Afghanistan and Pakistan. So this is one of the areas where we're trying to pull in his other words and apply it to Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Well, it'll be an interesting one because, I think Obama, we like to think he's really sharp. I mean, so far he really seems to be quite a very learned, scholarly, on top of it guy. And he, around Afghanistan, he's talked about more troops.
Right.
And, those of us who have read anything about Afghanistan know that over many, many years, people have been pulled into Afghanistan, kind of like sucked in and then punched out.
Right.
It's been, and I don't see how he feels that we would be any different. So you're pushing him on this, though. You don't know. I mean, you're kind of stretching his position on Afghanistan.
It's a hopeful extension of some of the sentiments that he's expressed. So yeah, we do want to be to be hopeful and optimistic that this is the direction he's going, and to push him farther than maybe he's willing to right now.
He's certainly going to have a lot of things on his plate really quickly. I mean, this Israel thing in the Gaza Strip is really mushroomed, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pakistan-India border tension over these, the most recent bombings in Mumbai, and really are going to have him having to deal with a lot of things very quickly. It's kind of like he was set up.
Yeah, he's inheriting a lot.
He's inheriting a lot, and everything sort of just came on real quickly. I mean, it may have helped with the election. I think the downturn in the capitalist economy and hence the world economy has really challenged him. Let's move along. One of the things that you talk about here is take all nuclear weapons off hair trigger alert. Right. Now, I don't know about that hair trigger alert. What is that, and what are we asking him to really do? And are there any indications that what are his positions on nuclear weapons?
Well, basically, hair trigger alert, meaning that that nuclear weapons could be deployed, at the
quickly
flip of a switch, right? And this does not seem to be in line with heading towards a peaceful progress. And we ask that they be taken off hair trigger alert with an eventual, hope that to eliminate nuclear weapons generally.
Take a little break here and let you all know that you're listening to Live from the Heartland on Loyola University's community radio station, WLUW 88.7. This is Michael James, your host for this morning's edition of Live from the Heartland Radio. And I'm here talking with Helen Hedberg. She's actually not talking yet. She's going to join us when Joshua sings. We're here with Joshua Brolier and Ann Poehler. And let me just ask you in passing, the two of you, how did you get involved in the movement and working for social change?
I guess I primarily got involved just, I think, coming to understand some things in college, taking a deeper look at history and seeing our nation's role and a lot of the things we've done sort of moved me towards being a part of the peace movement and the movement for social change. And then specifically last year I got involved with Voices for Creative Nonviolence while they were doing the Occupation Project, trying to influence the senators to vote against war spending. So,
where do you come from?
I'm originally from Tennessee.
Where'd you go to school?
In the University of Memphis.
And how about you, Ann?
Well, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska originally. And
my ancestral homeland.
Is that right?
Yeah, I had my father's mother his father was a state legislator.
Okay.
And he took horses east to market and never came back. So I grew up with this Nebraska horse thief story. And actually, I had a grandfather on my father's dad's side who was the postmaster in Greenwood, Nebraska.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're out of
Proud
Omaha.
legacy. Right. And so, and I'm a Loyola alum, so it's good to be
that's
back
great.
in Damon.
That's good to have you
Yeah.
as an alum from Loyola.
That's right.
Okay, let's move on to this list of the 8 things that we're asking Obama to, will he do? The next one we have is, it's going to be a big one, I think, is the close Guantanamo, eliminate military tribunals, and allow detainees access to the U.S. court system. What about this one? And what are the chances on it?
Well, I think actually this is one of the issues that Obama and Biden have, President-elect Obama and Biden have spoke out the strongest on. They've actually said repeatedly that's going to be one of the things they do when they first enter office. And there's a large movement built up around it, even besides Camp Hope, the Witness Against Torture movement that's also trying to bring this to close down Guantanamo. So there is quite a hopeful element there. But it's kind of a no-brainer, I think, in a lot of ways. I think the world would view our country a lot differently if we made a swift move to say that we're not going to torture.
There is an article in today's New York Times.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call everyone's attention to it. It's January 3rd, 2009. Obama's view on power over detainees will be tested early. And apparently he needs to kind of signal to the Supreme Court what his position is. There are some detainees who are American citizens. They're being held without a trial. There's a guy named Ali Al-Mari, and he's from Qatar. He's a Qatari student who was in Peoria, and apparently they are saying he's a dangerous guy, but he is a U.S. citizen. He's being held, without having to go to court, and all kind of legal stuff is out the window. So there's some in-depth information and speculation on Obama. You think it's the call for closing Guantanamo and certainly a different policy than Bush on the detainees looks good.
Right.
Well, we hope you're right.
and it'll certainly be complicated. I mean, it's certainly not going to be as simple as closing the facility, because after that, what happens to these folks, and how does their process of having their rights sort of restored take place, and entering into that court system. So we think that that President-elect Obama has a strong desire right now to close the base, but then what? So that's part of the reason that we're getting together, is to keep a watchful eye over his administration.
All right, now going down your list here, we'll do this a little more. I'm going to read them off.